Hello and welcome to Roaming Report, a program that looks at the Northeast in all its dimension and brings you the changing mood and tenor of the region in all its colors. I'm your host Lumpim Vashum, and the highlights of today's program are: Delhi Police initiates steps to improve security and safety of people from the Northeast. More forces to be deployed in Assam to maintain peace and security. Sports and cultural exchange events facilitate better relations between India and Bangladesh. And traditional indigenous musical instrument Penna being revived in Manipur. To ensure the safety and security of people from the Northeast settled in New Delhi, Delhi Police has initiated several measures. Recently, a special interactive review meeting on the security of Northeast people was held in the capital city. We have a report.
Valerie is from Nagaland. She recently completed her higher education from New Delhi and is now pursuing a career in mass communication. She's been living in the capital since 2007 and believes the attitude of local people towards those hailing from the Northeast is changing.
A lot of changes have happened because finally, Northeast, the students from Northeast, they've stood up together and they've told them that, see, enough is enough, we are a part of India and you need to do something about it.
In the recent past, a few incidents of discrimination and molestation of people from the Northeast were reported from the city. Following the death of a student from Arunachal Pradesh, Nido Tanyam, many students, social activists and NGOs held protests against racial discrimination. The centre also formed a 6-member committee to look into the concerns of the people from Northeast across the country. The Delhi Police has started a helpline to address their grievances. Apart from calling 100, any person from the Northeast can contact the police on the helpline number 1093. Special preventive policing is also being ensured in areas where people from the region reside.
Our people are now having a helpline number that is for educated people. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people who are not aware of this helpline number. And also the Delhi Police response to the situation has really improved.
In a bid to improve the security of people from the Northeast, Delhi Police recently held an interaction with students from the area. At the meeting, Deepak Mishra, Special Commissioner of Police, Law and Order, launched a Facebook page, Delhi Police for Northeast Folks. The page will deal with complaints and act as a forum for interaction on problems faced by the Northeast residents in the capital.
ये हमारा प्रयास है इमोशनल ब्रिज बनाने का with the police of Delhi, with people of Delhi, vis-a-vis नॉर्थ ईस्ट के जो हमारे भारत के निवासी हैं. तो एक छोटा सा प्रयास है हमारा जिससे कि हम इमोशनली एक दूसरे के और करीब आ सके, कम्युनिकेशन ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा हो सके, इफ़ेक्टिव हो सके और तुरंत हो सके.
I feel that this is a very good initiative. This kind of thing has been happening even in the past, but not at this level. For the first time, the special CPs and all the Joint Commissioner have come along with all the Northeast students and other individuals from Northeast, and we're very happy that this thing has happened, and then we have lots of expectation out of this. Also, our people, all the individuals have also given very good points and good suggestions, and I am hopeful that the Delhi Police officials who are here today have listened to us, and I'm hopeful that they will implement it.
Some of the important initiatives taken are adoption of standing order by Delhi Police based on zero tolerance policy for tackling the problem faced by Northeast people. Appointment of IGP rank officer from Northeast as Chief Nodal Officer for Delhi Police and 11 district DCPs as nodal officers for their respective jurisdiction. 53 Northeast persons have been appointed as representatives of 8 Northeast states who will act as ambassadors on behalf of their respective states and Delhi Police. Creation of special unit for Northeast people headed by a DCP at Nanakpura. And launch of 24/7 Northeast Helpline number 1093. A large number of youth come to Delhi from the Northeast every year in the search of better education and career opportunities.
Tight security remains in place in the violence-hit Bodo areas in Assam, with the death toll in the attacks on migrant Muslims reaching 46. While the state government has requested the centre for additional forces, efforts are underway to resettle the affected families. We have a report.
The situation is gradually returning to normal and people are moving back to their homes from relief camps in the trouble-torn Bodo areas. Meanwhile, the Assam government has asked the Union Ministry of Home Affairs for 50 additional companies to strengthen security in the area. Chief Minister Tarun Gogoi said that he has sought an action plan for future security in the Bodo areas. The death toll in the brutal attacks unleashed by militants in the Kokrajhar and Buxa districts within the Bodoland territorial area districts has gone up to 46.
আৰু কেম্পত অলপ কমিছে আগে 490 পৰা 98 পৰা গৈ পেলাই 310 পাইছে বঢ়া নাই এইটোৰ কথাটো মানে কেম্পৰ পৰা আৰু ইন দি মিন টাইম আমাৰ মাইনৰিটি কমিশনৰ গৈছিলে গৈ পেলাই তেখেতসকলে হয় সিকিউৰিটি কথাটো কোৱাটো স্বাভাৱিক যাৰ এটা সিকিউৰিটি দিব লাগে ভালকৈ
A national investigation agency team is probing the matter and security has been beefed up across the state to prevent any further violence. People across Assam have condemned the massacre of migrant Muslims and called for restoration of peace in the area. Illegal arms in the BTAD area are believed to be a major reason for violence.
এতিয়াৰ পৰা আজি 2-3 দিন আগৰ পৰা আৰ্মিৰ ডিপ্লয়মেণ্ট তেওঁলোকে এডিশনাল 100 কোম্পানী আকৌ অসমত নিয়োগ কৰিছে যাতে যিকোনো পৰিস্থিতিৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত আমি তাৎক্ষণিকভাৱে ব্যৱস্থা ল'ব পাৰোঁ ইয়াৰ পিছত আছে আমাৰ যিখিনি সেন্ট্ৰেল ফোর্স আছে তো সেন্ট্ৰেল ফোর্স 1 আৰু 2 তাৰিখৰ হিংসাত্মক ঘটনাৰ পিছত ভাৰত চৰকাৰে বিশেষভাৱে আমাক 34 companies force আকো দিছে তাৰ উপৰি কালি আৰু পৰহিৰ ভিতৰত আমি হয়তো আকো 25 পৰা 30 company force ভোট গণনাৰ আগে আগে পাম
People in Assam have suffered decades of militancy-led violence which continues to affect their daily life. Ethnic violence perpetrated by suspected Bodo militants has not only hampered development but has also created a fear psychosis in the minds of people.
Let us now take a look at some of the events that made news in the Northeast recently.
A 5-day-long science meet is currently underway at the DM College campus under the theme Fostering Scientific Temper. The event, organized by the Manipur Science and Technology Council, attracted a large number of students and parents. Over 200 students participated in the meet and presented 58 science models. Besides the exhibition, puppet shows, film screening, posters and photo exhibition are the main attractions. Nagaland's famous rock band Purple Fusion recently performed at the Imliangar Memorial Centre at Dimapur. The concert was organized to promote the band's upcoming album that is scheduled for release this summer. Several local artists like Senchano Odeo, Ronali Deb and Aaron Mage joined the band on stage. Guitarist Maasiv Tetsio also made a guest appearance and performed with the band.
In the last few years, both India and Bangladesh have taken a slew of measures to strengthen ties and increase mutual cooperation. The two countries have been regularly hosting cultural and sports events to bring the people closer, especially via Tripura that shares a long border with Bangladesh. Take a look.
Relation between India and Bangladesh has been improving in various fields, be it trade, connectivity or cultural exchange. Recently, several artists from India and Bangladesh came together at Agartala's Rabindra Centenary Hall to commemorate the 153rd birth anniversary of Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore. The program was jointly organized by the Information and Cultural Affairs Department of the Tripura government with an aim to further strengthen India-Bangladesh relations through cultural exchange. The stage provided a platform to cultural troupes, poets, singers and intellectuals from both the sides to come together and share their ideas. The audience was held spellbound by performances of renowned Bangladeshi singer Shamar Rahman and West Bengal's famous Rabindra Sangeet singer Shreya Guha Thakurta.
রাষ্ট্রীয় যে সীমানা রাষ্ট্র একটা কাঠামো এবং সেটা থাকবে তার বাইরে মানুষ টু মানুষ মানুষ থেকে মানুষের যে সম্পর্ক পিপল টু পিপল যে কন্ট্যাক্ট সেটা একটা চির আত্মীয়তার বন্ধনে চির প্রাণের বন্ধনে আবদ্ধ সুতরাং এই সম্পর্ক থাকবে বাংলাদেশ এবং ভারতের এই সম্পর্ক আরো দীর্ঘজীবী হবে এবং চির অম্লান থাকবে
এই যে আমরা আসা যাওয়া করছি আমরা আসছি ভারতের শিল্পীরা আমাদের দেশে যাচ্ছেন এবং আমাদের মধ্যে একটা ভীষণ একটা কি বলবো সখ্যতা তো আমি মনে করি যে এটা একটা মানে এই গান শুধু নয় রবীন্দ্রনাথের তো কেউ অবশ্য রবীন্দ্রনাথ বলে গেছেন যে তার গানটাই থেকে যাবে সবই থাকবে তার মধ্যে গানটা থাকবে কারণ গানটা এমন একটা জিনিস শ্রোতার কাছে খুব সরাসরি পৌঁছে দিতে পারে
Sporting events play an important role in bridging gaps. Recently, a 2020 cricket match was held at the Mirpur Sahara BCB National Academy in Dhaka between the Tripura Sports Journalist Club and National Press Club of Bangladesh. The Tripura team was participating in a match in Dhaka after a gap of 14 years. Journalists from both the sides had a gala time and emphasized on the need for more such events to further improve relations. The match was won by the Bangladesh team.
रिलेशन बहुत ज़्यादा बिल्डअप हुआ है और ये अगर कंटिन्यू करेंगे तो मीडिया जो सर्कल है उसमें एक बेहतर समझदारी होगा दोनों तरफ में
যে এই ধরনের সফর আমাদের দুই দেশের যে ভ্রাতৃপ্রতিম সম্পর্ক আছে এটা আরো দৃঢ় করবে গভীর করবে এবং আমাদের মধ্যে যে সন্দেহ অবিশ্বাস আছে সেটা দূর করবে ভবিষ্যতে আমি এই ধরনের সফর আরো যত ভালো বেশি হয় এটা আমি আশা করি আর কি দুই দলই মানে যাতে পারস্পরিকভাবে সফরে যেতে পারে সেটা সেই ব্যবস্থা করা উচিত
Tripura is placed at a strategic location and plays a vital role in promoting better trade relations and people-to-people contact between India and Bangladesh. Such events provide an opportunity for people of both countries to understand each other better and come closer.
When it comes to sports, youth from the Northeast exhibit an almost unmatched passion. The region has produced several international sportspersons and many are keen to take up sports as a career. Recently, football players from Manipur proved their mettle yet again by winning the 20th Senior Women's National Football Championship that was held in Assam. Take a look.
The game of football is extremely popular in the Northeast. The 20th Senior Women's National Football Championship that concluded recently at the Golaghat Stadium in Assam witnessed a large turnout of spectators. The team from Manipur defeated the defending champion Odisha 3-1 to clinch the championship title. With this win, Manipur has won the championship title for a record 17 times. It last won the championship in 2010. NG Bala was adjudged the player of the tournament.
Last year 2011 में हम लोग हार गया था उसका हम लोग रिवेंज ले लिया, हम लोग इस बार जीत गया। और अभी सेलिब्रेट इधर तो इतना अच्छा से नहीं सेलिब्रेट कर नहीं पाएगी, इम्फाल में तो हम अच्छा से सेलिब्रेट करेंगे।
A total of 22 teams from 21 states and the railways participated in the championship. The national sporting event was organized for the first time by the Dibrugarh and Golaghat district sports associations. Through this tournament, 50 players have been selected to represent India in Asian Games and other international tournaments. Such national events provide a platform to the local players to showcase their talent and help in promoting national integration by bringing together players from different parts of the country.
In Manipur, the penna goes a long way back, but it is not so popular now. In order to revive the musical instrument, workshops are being held regularly to make the youth familiar with it. Let's take a look.
The penna or tingtella is a bowed lute. It is the oldest instrument known to the Meiteis. It is used in folk music as well as an accompaniment to Manipuri dances. At one time, this instrument was played in royal courts and was considered part of the high culture of the region. It is still occasionally used for funerals and weddings. Penna is used to invoke the deities before the Lai Haroba starts. However, the popularity of penna has gone down. The Imphal-based Center for Research on Traditional and Indigenous Art, popularly known as Lai Hui, is trying to popularize the musical instrument.
Penna is being with us in the Manipuri society from since very thousands of years. Say in manuscripts we found in Manipur, it mentioned that penna exists in Manipur before the reign of the Pakhangba, and we also believe that the penna has been in our society as like our foods, our dresses, our living, our house. So we believe the penna is being with us for many years.
I came here to learn penna because of simply two reasons. One is I'm so much attracted to this tune, of this instrumental tune, and second is in this contemporary Manipur, only handful of patrons are left today, and so icon cultures are our pride for every nation. So I came here to join.
Through workshops and live sessions, youngsters are being given opportunities to understand the instrument so that they can blend the unique tunes of penna with modern tunes and make it contemporary. The instrument consists of two basic parts. There is the body and the bow. The body of the instrument is known as penna masa and the bow known as penna chejing. The main body of the instrument is made by taking a length of bamboo and passing it through a half coconut shell.
Penna ID family kudimaki member anga ama phote di penna hayaningi. Adagi school tamiba ngang simpong sida hayaningi kan. Matama da soidra masi adum lakada wasu male aina khanbada huji hana leiramba web tagi huji ki angang sing school gi satra sing penna tamama sing se yam khale aduna asaba khoida su kharadi
The indigenous arts are an important part of one's cultural legacy, and efforts need to be made to preserve and promote them.
With that, we have come to the end of this episode of Roving Report. I'm your host Lumpim, signing off. Do send in your feedback and suggestions to roving@anin.com. Goodbye and see you next week.